I want to pivot back to, you mentioned earlier, the fair versus equal approach. And I thought that was a really interesting way of putting it for families to think about. So what is the difference between fair and equal, and how should families be thinking about that?
So equal is when you actually split things equally between everybody.
Financially, dollars and cents, yeah.
Equally. Okay, we have $100. We're just going to split it 50 to each of the kids in the family. Done. Fair, which is anyone who's a parent knows life is not easy and it's a lot more complicated. The way you make your decision makes sense for each person's role, circumstances, and needs, and they never match. Some of the example might be what I just said earlier. I had one family who said, well, I want my daughter to handle the real estate. She seems to have a head for that. My son doesn't live here. I'm just going to give him the equal amount of money. They may think that's fair, but the son may say, well, wait a minute, that real estate could appreciate in value.
Right.
And I don't like that decision. And why'd you make that decision? Where the parents are really thinking it makes the most sense. Let's say you have one or two kids in the business, some aren't in the business. Do they get the same ownership? Is there resentment? I often seen, I work harder than my brother. Why should he get the same as me? Or sometimes parents see certain children as not capable. There's been a divorce or something, and so they give them more and tell the more capable person in the family, well, I know you'll be fine. But the more capable child is often resentful, like, okay, so you're punishing me for being successful and working hard? Because it's an awkward conversation. Everybody wants to think they're great and don't want the money, but if they see that it's going to their sibling who didn't work as hard as them, it just creates emotions. And I actually, I've had people say, well, it won't be my problem, but it will be the kid's problem as they're figuring that out. You're making decisions as a parent based on what you think the skills and needs and your fears are about your kids, that it can create problems. So I think, again, your kids don't have to agree. They just need to understand what you're thinking.